Verstappen is Angie? What does that mean? Okay, there's some Pacific drama going on. I have no idea. What the FrosT called Termi a motherfucker on today's stage? Damn! I thought NA was good. Let's see this. 5 minutes long. Where's the clip? Wait, where do we start with this drama? Do we start with this? Fuck, I don't know if we have enough time to cover all this.
Close, but I'm gonna say some stuff.
We've seen this clip.
Harsh, but if I don't say it right now, it's gonna eat at me. And the things that I say
The fist bump?
me as well. I'm not just yelling at you, like lashing out at you guys. Like, it also applies to me. But like, truly,
where
we should be embarrassed and disgusted with how bad we looked. Like, there were so many rounds that we threw, and this series should have been an easy 2-0. And even when we're at it, like, it should also be a bit.
Hold on, we've seen that clip. Let me see this.
They're out. What? Now coaches are out. What?
This is not it.
Do that. Oh, I love it. They did like the double.
This is not it. Oh, here it is. FrosT ignores handshake from DRX coach. Oh my god, it's so petty, but it's so good. Hold on. Let me see this shit. Fuck, no, it's ruined. I can't look. I want to see it with audio. Why is this fucking thing not loading properly, bro? Oh, brother, it's fucking being weird. It's frozen, this fucking player. Watch it on YouTube? I don't have it on YouTube.
They're looking to carry that momentum forward into today. I think this is a super streaky team. You know, when they run hot, they're really, really hot. So they want to use what they learned yesterday and bring it up.
Oh my God. FrosT is just, nope, he did that.
Damn. That's some petty ass shit, bro. Nah, I would have started talking shit. They got 2-0 after? Damn. Wait, did they fist bump after the matches in Pacific? That's hilarious. Did they fist bump after? Check the link on chat. There's a mega thread. Holy shit, there's a fucking, what the fuck? This guy wrote the entire story. All right. Wait, it's lagging. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't click anything. Why is Reddit lagging right now? Or like this thread. Okay, hold on. Riot Productions instigator. Termi in full rage mode. Termi with a big smile. What would you like to see at least once? Wow, they were fucking baiting the situation. Okay. Wolves fade on teams sharing scrims. Unfortunately, scrim sharing happens way more often than you can imagine. I've experienced it against my team before. The screenshot was given by a coach that got approached by another team's coach a couple days before our match. And can we be scrim partner and also can share about next match I sent to before if you need? Is this the guy in question? I mean, I wouldn't put it past him personally. That's a Korean actor? Oh, okay. Okay. Bro, what happened? Pacific literally took over the Reddit. Like, there's so many threads. This is too much, no? DRX post-match tweet. Why is Chrome so laggy? What the fuck is this? I can't browse properly. Get fucking humbled. Manners maketh man. Dash Termi. Get fucking humbled. FrosT post-match tweet. What could he have said? For all the new people tuning into Pacific, you missed a ton last year. This region is very exciting. Continue supporting the league. Wait, this guy's just playing like the villain card? Like the arc? Just for like views? Subtitled post-match interview. As an employed person, what does this mean for Sentinels? What? Oh my god, look at this clip of Valen and oh my god of John back in the day.
To fist bump the coach of the opposing team tonight if you.
What the fuck? Why does this interview sound like they're in like bed or something?
would love to comment on that.
No, but so here's what's funny. So I have a Spike Talk episode where I talk about this. So people from NA and EMEA messaged me on my phone. That's actually one of the texts I received just now that I laughed at, because I think now people are paying attention to APAC much more. That's a good thing. So new faces are seeing sort of like
This Aphrodite lost?
domestically our games now a hell of a lot more. You can see it in like the amount of people that are watch partying now, right? As opposed to like last season. What I find really funny is I'm not sure why people are surprised, because we had a similar situation last season, right? And we had a lot of comments, obviously more his way than mine, right? So
There's like some WWE
I'm not
shit
gonna,
going on
get
here.
into the specifics, but if anybody wants to listen to his interviews in the past about me, you know, teaching lessons and, you know, a whole other myriad of stuff, they can. There's real
Wait.
smoke between.
He said, look at his face when he said that. This is so fabricated, bro.
Obviously, it doesn't extend to the players. It has nothing to do with anybody else. This is just me.
I can't take it seriously either. It feels so fabricated. I'm not going to lie.
Probably will never be resolved, and that's okay. And it's funny and good entertainment for everybody else.
This emote should be named Real Smoke. This emote should be Real Smoke.
And you know, we are in the entertainment industry, so you know, DRX.
He literally says enjoy the entertainment.
That is okay.
Yeah.
Talon fans actually might hate me because of it, because it's not, you know, I don't think in Thai culture it's cool to do that either. Obviously, with the issues me and Cruz had earlier on in our career, of course. But yeah, I mean, there's real smoke there.
What's the beef though? I don't know.
I'm surprised everyone is surprised because.
Well, let's hear this interview. All right, should we come back to this stuff, bro? I can't watch 5-minute interview right now, but I think I think those scrim leaks. I need to find we can watch a recap later or something. But the scrim leaks is crazy. I have nothing to gain from saying this, but last year on Talon we had proof of some teams scrim sharing and showed it. But yeah, Riot just didn't really fully care, and they told us they couldn't enforce anything from what I understood. Just shed some light. I don't know what's going on there, if the problem still exists. But my experience last year was definitely a thing. I do think it should be enforced as a rule though. In VCT Pacific, you could negotiate with other coaches to share scrims in order to gain an unfair competitive advantage. Taking out any integrity out of the esport is not illegal and will not get you punished in any way, shape, or form. That's fucked. That's got to be fucked. I'm trying to think in CS if that was an issue, but I think it's different in Valorant. It's kind of different in Valorant because I feel like the agents, the metas, like the set strat, like in CS, everyone kind of did the same shit a little bit. There's no evidence though. Yeah, the comps matter a lot more in Valorant for sure. Watch TacticalRab. TacticalRab might be the play. How much time do we have? That might be the play. That might be the play for this. I'm not going to lie, because he sums it up quickly. He talks literally so fast.
Alright guys, welcome back to Valorant News. Massive drama around the world of Valorant today with huge playoff games going. Sorry that we weren't at a good spot when you joined, because that certainly implies that all the drama in recent times, the Bonkar stuff, the Verno stuff, whatever, the changes have affected Mike's ability to execute, which, to be honest, makes a fair bit of sense, I suppose. So there is that. But the other thing, of course, is FNS being back in business because NRG are gone, and therefore he gets to do the watch parties, and we saw some examples of that last night. Talon took down Nongshim in the end, which was, yeah, big result for them, and I will just say, we'll discuss
Where's the drama, bro?
in a second, so we're going to have a little bit of a spoiler for that. But this is Valorant heritage and continues to be. They beat GE, lost to T1, beat Nongshim, lost to Genji, and it's kind of way high on them early on, and for good reason, clearly. They turned up for here and placency to the means paper there. He had talent between a couple of the coaches. So here we go. This is what happened today. We had Talon on the right-hand side versus DRX, and we'll see the result in a second. But and look, there was a bit of talk about.
So is he not bumping his hand because DRX have leaked Talon scrims? This is like the supposed. Let's hear it though.
Refusing the handshake and all this.
I mean, dude, that's fucked, bro. I mean, honestly, at that point, I don't even blame the guy.
And there was a question mark on whether we would get anything
Allegedly.
between these two. Because, just to paint a little bit of the picture behind this story, there have been lots of rumors and discussions
Allegedly.
from FrosT especially that in the Pacific region there is lots of scrim sharing, let's say, going on when certain teams will scrim another team and they will reveal those results of the scrims, or let's just say the compositions the team is using, to their friends on other teams to potentially give them an advantage. This has been a big rumor. I mean, look, this is done. I'm certain that this is done. We'll even see some evidence of it in a second. Who's been doing it? That's a different question, but FrosT has been on record to say that, you know, he thinks this Termi guy has wronged him in multiple ways, such as in this way. So he decides to look him in the eyes and not fist bump him, not shake his hands, not show any respect, and Termi gives him like a hell of a death stare right here. But, you know, FrosT looks away, claps his hands and says, yep, good luck, team. And, you know, he gives a thumbs up to the players to kind of say, look, nothing against you guys necessarily, but clearly something against the coach. So, you know, very spicy, real spicy stuff, and a few things to share really before we talk about the game. I mean, I saw this tweet going around here from Fade, who's a coach for Wolves, and he says, unfortunately, scrim sharing happens way more often than you can imagine. I've even experienced it against my team before. This screenshot was given by a coach that got approached by another team's coach a couple of days before our match. And, you know, this guy does this thumbs up and says, can we be a scrim partner? Also, I can share about next match I sent to who.
I mean, bro, based off of the blurred text here, it's nah. We can't fucking speculate.
Whoever before if you need. So, you know, clearly this type of stuff is happening here. And there was a couple of tweets actually from Jess I thought were pretty interesting. Look, I know people are crashing out.
Trick said, you're a fucking loser if you can't handle the most surface level beef. The guy didn't shake a hand, bro. Get a grip.
Over this. At the end of the day, this is just good trash talk in my opinion, right? Like, obviously these guys don't like each other. FrosT feels like this guy's disrespected him in the past, so he's going to disrespect him back. Like, it's sports, baby. You know, it is what it is. I've got no issue with this at all. I think it's entertaining, and it added a bit of spice to the match. Now, of course, because Talon went on to lose, people are going to say, oh, FrosT has been clowns, like, show some respect, clown, or whatever, and that's certainly what DRX said after the series, but, you know, I think it's fine either way. Now, Jess in the reply said something pretty interesting. It's not as surface level as people claim when FrosT has dealt with that coach sharing his VODs and making comments about his mother.
Making comments about his mother is crazy. What the fuck?
Which I thought was interesting. I've actually not heard about this before. So, you know, look, I don't know what was said. I don't know what context it was said. I'm just sharing what's been put out there on the timeline today. What
The mother thing is misconstrued. It was a mistranslation.
point do we forgive FrosT for not wanting to be around or touch the man?
He only said your mom.
It
wasn't that serious.
Then, you know, this was actually probably the better graphic that I probably should have thrown on the thumbnail. But, I mean, this goes hard, right? This actually goes really hard. But this is the picture. And Jess says, yeah, this is going to be an iconic moment. He stood on stage and made a choice to not acknowledge someone who had wronged him multiple times. And at the end of the day, FrosT actually did a tweet afterwards and say, look, this is, you know, to some degree, this was pretty good publicity for FrosT's perspective. Because as he says, for all the new people tuning into
This tweet to me is like, I don't know. This tweet makes it look like a bit, but I don't know.
Pacific, you missed a ton last year. This region is very exciting. Continue supporting this league. I thought it was really rather nice. But look, the point is that FrosT, by refusing the handshake, people are talking about it. People are talking about the scrim sharing, and all of a sudden it may be FrosT's intention in terms of what he wanted to achieve.
Truly the best day for the unemployed.
Out of this has very much come true. Of course, at the end of the day, they still lost. They still got slammed. And look, this was probably inevitable, right? Where we've seen it. Talon simply alternate between winning and losing. This was a losing series, and they lost it. DRX
they got 13 forward.
13-4 icebox on Talon. The fracture actually went to an overtime. They
could have
potentially won this one, Talon. They gave it a good go in the second half, but in the end on the fracture, just not quite enough. And DRX advanced on in the bracket. So
check Jen Lee's tweet. She's the translator.
So, you know, fair play. I thought it was good beef, good driver of the day, as always. The rest of the Pacific now looks like this. So, DRX, they have made it, right? They've made it all the way through to lower round 3, but they're still one series away, right? This was the G2 Evil Geniuses series.
So, Jen Lee is saying that the mother or family was never mentioned. It was mistranslated. And that what Termi said is, I feel like there was a lack of sportsmanship and manners. So, that's what she's saying here.
The other game, and it may be DRX versus PaperX, or it may be DRX versus Boom. But early days, it's looking pretty good for
That it?
PaperX. They're 7-2 up, and if they do go on, who goes to Toronto humble, they say, and who does not. In the Americas...
Oh, that was an elimination game for... Wait, DRX first Talon was a qualification match, huh?
I mean, this is DRX's tweet, by the way. Get humbled, they say. Manners make a...
Or no? It was just... Oh, that was in qualification. Next one is qualification.
Man, which I thought was... You know, it's a good tweet, sure. But equally, FrosT may argue that Termi's manners haven't been
He asked for evidence for the scrim sharing and no evidence yet. He made a strong statement.
the best of whatever's happened behind the scenes, right? So I think that's the talking
Termi's
point really of
response?
the day. But the other big series of last night was MIBR versus G2. And very interesting because MIBR looked very impressive to get to this point. And then G2 turned up to the plate and they handled business. Again, MIBR had their opportunities in this series. What I think is interesting is Aspas is, you know, he's on the Neon and he's on the Jet all of the time. Now, I'm not going to criticize Aspas exactly, right, because he's still Aspas. But there was a bit of talk about it, right, as the series went on, that maybe Yoru is worth some consideration rather than Jet. I mean, G2 eventually won the Lotus 15-13.
Wow, that is a strong statement. Holy fuck.
And then the final map here on
That's
the
a strong
Ascent,
statement.
you know, this was when...
That is a strong statement. He said, as someone who's been in an esports team for over 20 years, I will retire tomorrow if there's any credible evidence that states DRX leaked scrim information. But if no evidence is presented, then I demand Coach FrosT take full responsibility for fueling these baseless rumors. That is a strong statement for sure. I mean, I read through it all in my head, but you can read it as well on your own. But damn, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, bro. He said, if you have evidence of me leaking, I will retire today. Coach FrosT, we want evidence, bro. I've been in esports for 20 years, dude. You're going to throw out accusations like that? Pull out the evidence, I retire today.